Hello and welcome back to another Everflow webinar. I'm your host, Isaac Maier, and today we're going to be talking about fraud prevention. Make sure to give the channel a follow, like, favorite, subscribe, and let's get started. Like I said, welcome to another Everflow webinar. I'm your host, Isaac Maier. Today we're going to be talking about fraud prevention, but as always, we're going to go through and just look at kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So as always, an introduction into myself. We're going to talk about some common methods of fraud. We're going to talk about an intro to fraud prevention, the new 24Metrics update, which is very exciting, some other fraud prevention integrations. We're going to talk about Everflow Pay, which we came out with last year, which our clients have had tremendous success with. We're going to talk about some upcoming events where you can meet some people from Everflow. And then finally, we're going to do a question and answer. As always, if you do have any questions, you can ask them in the right side of your screen in the chat. I'll be more than glad to get to those at the end. So jumping right in, hello. If you haven't seen me before, you are now. My name is Isaac Maier. I'm a customer success manager with Everflow. I've been in affiliate marketing for 6 years now, and I'm based out of San Francisco, California. So I got a fun fact for you today. It's about fraud, $10 billion of it actually. So some new Federal Trade Commission data, the FTC, shows that consumers reported losing more than $10 billion in fraud in 2023. This is the first time it's ever gotten that high. And this is a 14% increase over reported losses in 2022. So I don't know about you, $10 billion is a lot of money for me. Obviously, fraud is a very large problem. So jumping in, actually talking about this fraud and how we can keep our campaigns safe. With Everflow and these fraud prevention integrations, let's talk about how to fight fraud. So there's a few methods of fraud that I'd love to just go over really quickly, just to give you an introduction into exactly what we're going to be talking about here. So the first one we're going to talk about is click injection. So this is a pretty sophisticated form of click spamming. Click injection will essentially use an app located on the user's device that'll listen to app installation broadcasts. So the fraudster, such as our friend in the ski mask here, will be informed when new apps are installed on the device, triggering a click before the installation, which allows them to take credit for the install. Moving on to bot traffic. So there's a lot of different bots online. Some are good. Some of us help track performance. These are the bad ones, the evil robots. These ad fraud bots click on paid ads to intentionally drain your ad budget. So in 2022, this cost businesses $12.35 billion on Google alone. In 2024, this is expected to rise 16.5 or to 16.59 billion. So essentially what this can look like is abnormally high page views. Maybe you just launched a new page and suddenly it has thousands of, or tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of clicks. There might be a very high bounce rate. There could be a surprisingly high or low session duration. Maybe someone's only going to your page for a millisecond. Maybe they're there for 30 days. This could also look like junk conversions. That could be people filling out your forms with junk, essentially like spam, just a bunch of random characters or something. You can also look at a spike in traffic from an unexpected destination. So let's say you do all of your business in Germany and you suddenly get millions and millions of clicks from Costa Rica, where you have no market, where you have no partners. That's likely bot traffic and something that should be stopped. Finally, account takeovers. It's really exactly what it sounds like. Account takeover fraud is a form of identity theft, where a fraudster will take over an online account and pose as its owner, its real user. This could include compromised credentials, session hijacking, social engineering, and ultimately a device takeover. So that's when our friend here in the ski mask gets control your accounts. Now, obviously, these fraudsters aren't going to necessarily be wearing leather gloves and a ski mask, but this is a huge issue that happens all the time, and these people are out there, so we got to be careful about them. So an introduction into fraud protection. So like with most things in life, one of the best ways to avoid this at a base level is to just question traffic if it seems strange, just like our friend here asking, is this real? And just making sure you're noticing when it happens is something big. So just keeping an eye on your metrics. Luckily, Everflow gives you a lot of access into that reporting. But there's also some more complicated things, some integrations we have. A couple things that we like to use are real-time screening. So we'll talk about that in a little bit in the integration section. But essentially, we can just look at these. We can have software look at these clicks as they come through. We can also use click-to-conversion time, which essentially makes a gap between when the click happens and when the conversion is recognized. So we just have a little bit of a window. Essentially, this requires that there needs to be a certain amount of time, either on the low end or the high end between a click and a conversion. So if someone clicks on your site and immediately makes a purchase, that wouldn't be realistic. Let's say if that happened in 2 or 3 seconds, they'd probably want maybe at least like 20 or 30 seconds there. And also, it wouldn't be realistic if they stayed on your page for 30 days and then made a conversion. So we just want to make sure that that window is nice and tight. And then finally, we have some really great integrations, which we'll be talking to you about today. First of which is 24Metrics. Now, this is the big reason that we decided to do this webinar, because 24Metrics has come out with some really exciting stuff, some new updates. The great thing here is that with this new 24Metrics update, you can screen clicks and conversions in real time, stop data center traffic, proxies, bots, and more. So we'll automatically synchronize those results with Everflow to make your experience seamless. So some of the new updates that have come with this 24Metrics update. So now we support the latest version of the 24Metrics platform, ensuring seamless integration and compatibility. We also provide flexible enablement. So the 24Metrics integration can now be enabled at the partner and advertiser levels, in addition to the offer level, providing more granular control over your traffic quality monitoring. Real-time rejection. Your clicks and conversions that do not meet your quality standards will be rejected in real time without any pending period, allowing you to take immediate action. Finally, rule management. You can now add, modify, and change the status of rules within the Everflow UI, giving you greater control over the traffic filtering process. Now, we're going to check out the actual 24Metrics integration in just a sec. But real quick, I just did want to mention that with 24Metrics' new update, we've moved everything on our side to the AdSecurity system. That is the new system. So they have Fraud Shield, which is their legacy system, AdSecurity, which is the new system. Like I said, we only work with AdSecurity now. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, when you do enable or upgrade the 24Metrics integration in Everflow, you will need to provide that integration ID. That integration ID is something that can only be found on AdSecurity. So if you're using Fraud Shield, you won't be able to find it. So we also validate the provided integration ID, so you won't be able to enable or upgrade unless you're an actual AdSecurity user. If you are a Fraud Shield user and you're wondering where to find the integration ID or why the integration isn't working, you'll need to contact 24Metrics to upgrade to AdSecurity first. You can do that at support@24metrics.com. If you are looking for that integration ID and you're an AdSecurity user, that can be found on the integration section of your 24Metrics dashboard. So that was a lot of talking, but hopefully it helps some of you guys integrate with 24Metrics more easily. Let's actually check out what the 24Metrics integration looks like. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I am now going to share this other screen. Okay. So now you can see 24Metrics. This is our integrations page. We'll talk a little bit more about IPQualityScore and Anura and some of the differences between these below. But let's check out 24Metrics for now because they're the star of the show today. So as you can see here, we can add a few different rules. We have our integration already set up. So if we go to add a rule, we can give that rule a name. So we'll just do test. We can set it to active or inactive. We can protect ourselves at a few different levels. So we can choose conversion, click, or click conversion for the fraud prevention. We can also choose to ignore results so we don't block fraudulent traffic if you'd like. That way 24Metrics is only used as a reporting tool. You can also, you'll have to make sure that you pass a certain sub ID to 24Metrics or a certain field to 24Metrics as a sub ID. Here we can apply this fraud prevention to specific offers or advertisers. We can do the same for partners. And there you go. And it's really that easy to set up once you've integrated. And like I said, all you'd really have to do is grab that integration ID. We make it pretty dang easy to set up. So let's stop sharing my screen once again. And jump back into the presentation. So we have a couple of other different integrations for fraud. This is IPQualityScore and Anura. These are both fantastic. However, I'd like to note a few key differences between IPQualityScore, Anura, and 24Metrics. So 24Metrics is currently the only conversion that detects, or sorry, the only integration that detects conversion fraud. If we're looking at how Everflow rejects conversions, for 24Metrics, all conversions will be set to pending while waiting for a response from 24Metrics. They'll eventually be approved or rejected based on the response for 24Metrics. Those are some of the main differences. However, if you go in, you can actually see some of the differences as you integrate. I really encourage you to check out the IPQualityScore, Anura, and 24Metrics websites to see some of the main differences there. But those are some of the big ones that I wanted to talk about today. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen once again, and we're going to go back to the Everflow dashboard so I can show you what this looks like. So when you want to enable this on an offer, you can go to one of your offers. Let's go to Test Jonathan. How about? Essentially what you want to do is you'll go to Edit. We'll go to Attribution. And here's where we'll have all of the fraud prevention integrations that we've added. So if it's set up for the offer, in this case, we have Anura and IPQualityScore, you'll be able to click yes. You'll be able to go through the settings. Since IPQualityScore uses a fraud detection score, we can enter the scores here. And then we can set if we want it to block traffic or send to fail traffic. Like I said, I encourage you to check out the guides on IPQualityScore, Anura, and 24Metrics to go further in depth into all of their features. Then we'd simply click Save. So it's as easy as that. Like I said, we do have more steps on integration if you do want to get further into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk a little bit about Everflow Pay now. So Everflow Pay we came out with last year. It allows you to automate generating invoices and payments. It is the only payment method that is automated at partner signup. It is also the only payment method that will show a warning bar on the top of your partner screen if they haven't implemented their payment information. This way, you won't have to chase them down to set up their payment information, which will save you time. Ultimately, you've created with Everflow Pay a seamless partner payments onboarding experience. Everflow Pay is really the only way to do that. If you are interested in Everflow Pay, you can contact support at pay.help@everflow.io, or you can always chat with your customer success team in the chat on your dashboard. We're always more than glad to tell you anything about Everflow Pay if you have any questions or help you get set up with it. So let's say you want to meet some of the folks at Everflow. There's a few opportunities coming up. May 14th, that's in just a little while here, is the Partner Pro Tee-Off in Miami, Florida. That's going to be a top golf, ton of fun if you want to golf with the team. June 4th through 6th, we're going to be at Money 2020 in Amsterdam, Europe. We hope to see you at both these events. If you're in town, come say hi. So thank you very much for attending another Everflow webinar. If you do have any questions, now is the time to ask them. I'll be more than glad to answer them. However, like I said, your customer success team is always available if you ever need anything. So thank you.